Fosco and his fellow inquisitive hobbits, far removed from the calamities of battle, carried the spirit of exploration into the peace-filled days of the Fourth Age. As they travelled along roads well trodden by the likes of Bilbo Baggins and Thorin Oakenshield's company, these new adventurers discovered the echoes of past journeys, whispering on the winds, guiding their quest for kinship and knowledge. In Rivendell, where time seemed to stand still amidst Elrond's halls, the hobbits found remnants of history, lessons in song and starlight shared by the few elves who lingered still. They learned of the great tales not only of their own kin, but also of the deeds of elves and men, the valiant traditions that swept across ages, now receding into the twilight of memory as the Eldar faded westward. What was once shrouded in mystery now lay open before them, their hearts imbibing the beautiful lament of ages departing. Emboldened by themselves and the stories of others, hobbits cautiously ventured farther, shadowing the waterways and wandering into lands where the sky stretched wider than their dreams. Along these hidden paths, they encountered men and dwarves, each meeting infused with moments of mutual curiosity. Even elusive rangers of the north, once glimpsed by Frodo on a misty road, shared fires and tales with these small travelers, often marveling at their bravery and the legacy that their storied ancestors carried. The paths to Erin Lascalen and beyond painted vibrant tapestries before Fosco's eyes. Forests spangled with sunlight and shadow stretched outward, whispering ancient secrets to those who would listen. Among the scattered elves under Thranduil's protection, the hobbits found a kinship untainted by prejudice, discovering that the great woodland realm opened its verdant heart, eager to teach those so willing to learn. These domains, imprinted now with hobbit laughter, became threads binding east and west in a bond previously unseen. In Gondor, too, a city alive with history, the hobbits found a grandeur whose tales were sung in regal courts, attended by high lords and low peasants alike. Pippin, adorned in his guardsman's livery, was oft remembered fondly by those in Minas Tirith's White City. His ties to the land of the Star of the Dunedain, the strength of Rohan's friendship, and even to the craftsmen of the glittering caves beneath Helm's Deep, filled many a twilight eve with reminiscences of triumph over shadow. While these rare ventures marked the daring of the few, the spirit of adventure, like a gentle breeze, softly caressed the Shire's hills. The hint of salted sea and morning mists found footholds in hobbit dreams, stitching together worlds once divided by fear and ignorance. As the elders recounted, each tale of exploration carried within it a slightly bittersweet flavor, an acknowledgement of change in a land that prided itself on constancy and simplicity. Such journeys opened paths for trade previously non-existent. The Shire, a bucolic tapestry of tilled earth and tilting windmills, saw its markets flourish anew. From the gold-hued hills of Ithilien to the iron-wrought peaks of Gondor's fortresses, a myriad of wares traversed the lands, connecting disparate cultures under a starry sky. It was a whispered integration of forged alliances and mutual understanding, subtle shifts of an era, built upon the very unity once aspired to by the Fellowship. Amidst these changes, the tales spun around warm hearths reached new generations. As hobbits returned home, they brought with them stories embellished with the colors of foreign lands, songs whose melodies chimed with ancient echoes, and wisdom that deepened each interaction. Thus did the peaceful Shire expand its heart, no longer merely a refuge from past ills, but now a cornerstone in the shared history of Middle-earth, veiled in wisdom and rich in the light of friendship. As the years unfolded, whispers spread throughout the Shire, borne on the soft winds that caressed the hills. It was said that a new generation, brimming with curiosity and the tales of their forebears, dared to tread paths once considered too perilous. Through the bywater and beyond, the young hobbits gathered at firelit hearths to hear of wonders and perils, stirring an ember of adventurism that quietly defied hobbit tradition. Among them was Fosco Gardner, a distant kin of Samwise through marriage. Inspired by the whispers of the sea and the unknown, he found himself drawn towards the ancient paths, those tangled lanes that lead to the lands where once walked the elves. Fosco, with a heart both trembling and spirited, embarked from the Shire, an unassuming traveler. his feet leaving light imprints on the soil as he ventured into Bree. Within the Prancing Pony, his stories earned him the fond title of wanderer among the men and dwarves who frequented the establishment. The Hobbit's curiosity sometimes took them even further than Bree. In tales passed solemnly around flickering campfires, there are mentions of hearty explorers reaching the borders of Mirkwood, their eyes wide with wonder at the towering trees and shadowed glens. These were not heroes of old, but gentlefolk with a thirst for the beauty and enchantment their lands did not possess. By the time they turned back homeward, their tales were woven into songs, small testaments to the Shire's cautious connection to the world of Middle-earth. Trading routes spun a delicate web across Eriador, and in the markets of Hobbiton there began the appearance of goods from far-off realms. Silks with a luster bright enough to rival a Rivendell sunset, and spices that spoke of Harad's arid expanse, found their way onto Hobbit tables. Through these subtle exchanges, a new kind of kinship was fostered with the far reaches of the world, uniting East and West in a silent agreement that peace and prosperity flourished under shared horizons. Back in the Havens, where green hills rolled into the distance, dialogues between hobbits and the remaining Eldar reached a poignant crescendo. As the elves' numbers dwindled, those who still lingered shared whispered wisdom with the hobbits, who listened with rapt attention. Such interactions gifted to the Shire a vault of knowledge, rare and wondrous, that touched every encounter with the shimmer of ancient lore. For hobbits, this sealed a bond with the elves, felt deeply in every song sung beneath the stars. And so it was that within the borders where the Brandywine flowed and gentle hills nestled jackdaws and bluebells, some spirits were yet bold enough to gaze outward. Merry and Pippin, with hearts forged in the fires of friendship and adventure, took to visiting Erin Lasgalen on occasion, to bask in its serenity and lay the foundations of a lasting alliance. Such was their lasting friendship that the steeds of Rohan were seen galloping on paths that wound through the Shire, ridden by jesting hobbits greeting old friends from afar. Thus, the hobbits of the Fourth Age expanded their understanding and their sphere, cautiously and with tender steps. The Shire, forever their anchor, remained unchanged in its rustic charm, yet subtly interwoven with the strands of the grander Middle-earth narrative. Under starlit skies and the guidance of old friendships, they gradually wove into their lives the essence of a world transformed by courage, camaraderie, and quiet aspirations. In the twilight days following the War of the Ring, the Shire flourished under the renewed peace of Middle-earth. Yet the question remains, did the hobbits ever leave those emerald hills again? To unravel this enigma, we must delve into the winds of history sweeping through the Hobbit lands, a history intertwined with strands of courage, exploration, and new beginnings. The Shire, untouched by the horrors of Mordor, saw its heroes return. Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin, each bearers of tales more grandiose than any Shire folk could imagine. In the years that followed, their lives became legends. Samwise Gamgee, as history notes, served as mayor for 7 consecutive terms, beginning in 1427 of the Third Age, spreading wisdom and counsel across the free people. His stewardship, combined with the beneficial effects of the Malorn tree gifted by Galadriel, saw the Shire undergo a renaissance. Yet, the wanderlust ignited by their grand adventure, an itch beneath the skin, persisted. Merry Brandybuck and Pippin Took, renowned not only as the Shire's chief Matham and Took, respectively, ventured beyond their pastoral homeland. The muster to Rohan and Gondor, even in times of peace, emerged as something akin to destiny for these noble hobbits. It was recorded that in the year 1434 of the Fourth Age, King Eomer of Rohan passed away, marking a pivotal moment for Merry to visit the kingdom of Horselords. Much later, Pippin was drawn back to Minas Tirith, often described under the serene rulership of King Elazar, where his presence was seen in high regard among men. Fascinatingly, it was not only these renowned four who found paths beyond the boundary. As the Fourth Age unfurled its blanket, others took bold steps into lands uncharted. The isolation of hobbits remained but a protective veil. Some, inspired by tales of Frodo and Sam, followed the ancient roads to Bree, Tharbad, and further still. It's whispered in great halls and quiet corners that when the elves began their immortal voyage to Valinor, they found unexpected passengers in love with adventure and rich in the heritage of humility and grace. However, this migration did not match the grand exodus of the elves or the wanderings of men. Hobbit nature, as steadfast as the roots of the old forest, yearns for the green pastures and quiet meadows. Their ventures out into the wider world were rare but not unheard of, weaving small threads into Middle-earth's great tapestry without a ripple on its vast. This gentle overture to the greater world subtly indicated the rising bonds of unity forged in flame and shadow under the Fellowship's banner, not only among races, but across planes of understanding and respect. Perhaps most poignant of all are the quiet tales of Sam's heirs. After being part of the legendary Fellowship, Samwise returned to the Shire, his heart ever glancing westward toward Frodo and the Blessed Realms. In 1482 of the Fourth Age, Samwise himself made his last journey, guided by unseen hands along the road taken once by Frodo. With those precious Red Book manuscripts in hand, traversing terrain unknown to most hobbits, tales spoke of him finally reaching the Grey Havens. His leap of faith echoed in ripples on the sea's eternal blue. In the great expanse of Middle-earth, it becomes evident, though the hobbits by nature are gentlefolk of harrows and hills, the epochs beyond the War of the Ring saw them waver, if only briefly, on the grand stage of history. Richened by newfound bravery and old friendships, their hearts, much like their homes, were expanded, both in spirit and in legend. Although the dung of adventures may lay dormant beneath the leaves of the White Tree and beyond the proud towers of Dol Amroth, it resonates within those few who dared the threshold of their unassuming haven, the Shire. Within the echo of past glories and the gentle hum of daily life in the Shire, the hobbits grew, like the seasons, gentle yet ever. The gleam of legendary names such as Baggins, Gamgee, Took, and Brandybug became synonymous with courage and friendship, embodying a legacy that spurred those after them to cherish the world beyond their borders, yet keep it in amiable camaraderie. The Shire, forever nestled in its tranquility, had become a place where tales of heroism intertwined seamlessly with the simple joys of rural life. Each hobbit more than a whisper in the song of Middle-earth's history. In time, the quiet passages leading from Hobbiton and Bywater were frequented by those who were content to wander and gather tales plucked from the winds of adventure. Like Fosco Gardner and his gentle ilk, these newly famed wanderers carried back with them not just stories of distant realms, but friendships as stout and enduring as the roots of the party tree itself. Deepened by experience, hobbits returned not only with tales of daring, but with an enriched sense of the wider world, where their place was secure, yet ever open to discovery. For all their travels and escapades, the hobbits understood a fundamental truth: that home is a haven best revered when balanced with the wisdom of far-off lands. So too did the paths grow firm beneath feet accustomed to the road, a testament to the enduring spirit that thrived quietly from the shadow of great trees in Erin Lascillen to the resplendent gleam of Gondor's White City. So under the unhurried movement of stars, realms of men, elves, and dwarves were woven into stories that sprang to life in quiet Shire parlors, each etching the hobbit's mark deeper into the annals of Arda's age. And thus, under skies wide and unwavering, the hobbits found solace not only in the cherished memories of yore, but in the burgeoning traditions of their own making. The Shire, vibrant and alive, enveloped each tale like leaves embrace the forest floor, sparking new firesides where eager faces illuminated the pages of the Red Book. With each new telling, the echoes of kinships forged during days both dark and light blossomed anew, breathing life into fields that stretched crestward to meet the broader Middle-earth. This new Shire lived in concert with history and the promise of peaceful ages to come, alive evermore with the whisper of Middle-earth's gentlefolk in every leafy breeze.